Alright, what's going on, guys? We're back again for another art challenge. And so in this episode, we're going to be going straight into Monster Hunter and imagining what it would be like to hunt Pokemon in this universe. And so I teamed up with my mates Rui and Jackson again, and we spun the wheel once more to decide which Pokemon we were going to get. So of course, as the first challenge for this one, we decided to choose from the 3 original starters from Generation 1. So Jackson got Charizard, I got Venusaur, and Rui got Blastoise. So we really enjoyed this one, so if you like it, make sure to let us know, and we'll make sure that we add more of these videos in the future. Now let's get hunting. Alright, so we're just going to go straight into the time-lapse for this one. With this one, I decided that I was going to make it just more of like a concept art piece, similar to the design concept art images that you see released with Monster Hunter. And so it'll be a really rough sketch, but more just showing the idea and conveying how the armor set and even the weapon can look if you were a Venusaur hunter. And so at this stage, again, I'm just really trying to establish a pose, and you'll already notice that I'm doing something a little bit different here, where I'm actually drawing a female character. And so far in all these videos, I haven't done a single female character, so I think I thought it would be a good time to try and keep practicing that. And as an artist, all you fellow artists out there, you should make sure to always practice everything, draw as much of a different variety of things as you can. Never get too comfortable in the subject matter. It's the only way that we grow and further improve as an artist. And you miss out on a lot of fun opportunities, if you really limit yourself. But as you can see, that this is something that I'm not entirely familiar with, so I'm really just trying to establish some of the general shapes of the female anatomy before I start to render the armor. But you won't really see much of this, once the armor is established. Most of it should be hidden under clothing and armor and everything. It's just that you want a strong foundation to build off. That way it'll make it feel like the armor actually fits onto the body and actually belongs, and they all work together. And so just rendering all the forms and just continuing with this, really trying to tweak the pose, trying to make something a little fun, but again, it's a piece that shows the armor, so it's really got to be, I wanted it front on just to show what it looks like exactly, so that the viewer can get a good idea of my concept, because I had something in mind already from the get-go, that I wanted a little bit of asymmetry in the armor design. And you'll see what that means, what I mean by that, once we go into it a bit later in the video. And so now, once I've established the pose, I just try to do a more refined line work. So you notice with the artwork for Monster Hunter, and particularly the concept art, it uses despite the game being a very realistic style of like 3D models and monsters and everything, the concept art is very anime inspired, and it's very similar to different types of Japanese video games and RPGs and everything. And I actually really admire this style. I think it's really cool. It conveys a lot with minimal strokes, colors, and everything. So I think it's a very powerful thing, that if you can convey a lot with minimal brush strokes or minimal lines. And so it's something that I always admired and respect from the artists that can pull this off. And I just genuinely really like the look of this style, so I wanted to use this opportunity to have a go at it, and have a go and practice, and see how it turns out. And so you'll see now I'm actually adding the first elements of Venusaur parts onto the armor. I noticed that some of the existing armor pieces in the game, they wear portions, chunks of the monsters. It's usually their armor, their spikes, their carapace, chitin, everything, whatever you want to call it. And so looking at Venusaur's design, you actually notice that with a lot of the Pokemon designs, they're actually very simple and straightforward. And so because they want them very easily recognizable. Example, Charmander's primarily red and orange, yellow. Squirtle is blue, and Bulbasaur is very green, and they all represent the Pokemon types that they are. And at an immediate glance, you will recognize, what Pokemon it is, what type they are, and you can just imagine what kind of moveset they would have. And so, even though Monster Hunter has really detailed and refined armor pieces, and even has quite a muted palette on a lot of their pieces, I noticed, I decided I'm going to go stick with the Pokemon route, because I really want people to know immediately that it's a Pokemon Hunter. and I'm gonna have kind of the, you know, the vibrant, simple colors that Pokemon usually has, and in particular Venusaur. He's got a lot of really cool design elements to him. I think he's a really cool Pokemon. He's got a lot of different colors. You know, he's got the flower that's like a pink and a yellow, and the brown trunk, and the teal colored body, and the green palm leaves and everything. And so when I was doing this, you notice I added something to her hand that is representative of one of the weapons that you would use, and it's the seed bomb. So as I was doing this, I started really thinking about, you know, what makes Venusaur, and he is pretty much just like an absolute tank of a Pokemon. And it's similar to Blastoise, where they're both very tank-like. But the difference with Venusaur versus Blastoise is Blastoise has the guns that just shoots water, but Venusaur has like a whole arsenal of weapons, such as the Razor Leaf. He's got Vine Whip as an attack, but for projectiles he's got Razor Leaf, Seed Bomb, and of course the ultimate grass attack, he's got Solar Beam. And as soon as I remembered all that, I wanted to include it somehow, and I thought the heavy bow gun was like the perfect weapon from Monster Hunter to fit this set perfectly, because even though they call it like a bow gun, it's just like a giant machine gun, right? And and it looks awesome. It's like ridiculously large, but also ridiculously awesome. And I figured that, you know, that the gun also has different ammunition types, or different ways of shooting. Like example, a rapid fire attack, a slower, more, you know, shotgun pace attack, and then there's also like a charged attack, and it's all done from a distance. And so I thought that was absolutely perfect for Venusaur, because then you would have, as you can see, I got the Razor Leaf bullet belts feeding into the weapon, and that would be the rapid fire attack, and then he could have a secondary shooting attack, which would be the seed bomb, so it sort of turns his gun into like a little grenade launcher. And then the final ultimate attack for a charge shot would absolutely be Solar Beam, and it would just, you know, be some sort of really slow, delayed, stationary move where you got to charge a bit, but once you release it, it does a devastating, massive Solar Beam attack. And so, of course, being a grass type, I naturally am adding a lot of grass and plant elements to this armor design, and I thought that was really cool and suited for the gun as well, because it's very akin to a ghillie suit, similarly to what's used in real life in the military for camouflage while the sniper remains stationary. And essentially, this is what with this weapon, this character is basically a sniper of some sort. So I had the idea of the ghillie suit, but instead of making it look like a straight up ghillie suit, you know, it's got to still look like Venusaur. So it really has a mix of those elements, and it's going to have the very bright saturated colors that Venusaur has. And you might think, you know, as a ghillie suit, it doesn't really make sense because it's supposed to be more camouflage and hidden away. You know, you're not supposed to be able to be easily seen. But what I like to imagine is in this world that the Venusaur lives in a world that the reason it has those colors is because it is matching its environment. And so essentially, even though it's very bright and saturated and vibrant and everything, I'd like to think that the whole jungle that Venusaur lives in is very similar to that color. And so even though it's very outlandish looking, it fits perfectly as a ghillie suit camouflage. And so now you can see I'm moving on, adding a little bit extra. And so for those who aren't familiar with the game, you have the little Palico mascot, the little cat character that's really cute that follows you around, and you can also collect armor sets for them and little outfits and stuff, and they're really fun to dress up. And so I just wanted to add a little bit extra and do a little quick design for a little Palico outfit to match this Venusaur one. And so naturally he's going to have a Bulbasaur outfit, so you know, I think it fits perfectly with the whole Pokemon evolutionary line. And so that's what I'm just trying to figure out here. I'm just doing a pretty straightforward design with him. I think I wanted him to be basically in like a little cute Bulbasaur onesie, because I felt like as I was doing this whole concept, this whole challenge, it felt a little bit morbid. You know, I was just drawing pieces of a Pokemon, like just chunks of it, like you had killed a bunch, and then you're putting them back together to make clothing and armor sets. And I know that's what the game is about, and it's all in good fun, but for some reason with Pokemon, I never really thought of it that way, you know, so I felt a little bit morbid. But I tried to keep it in a way that it still looked cute and, you know, a little less, violent and everything. And so I just wanted to keep it as a onesie, because onesies on little characters and babies are pretty cute. So I just thought I'd stick with that. And of course I have to add the Bulbasaur's bulb on the back of him, and that could be like his little backpack, And I've got just adding little tassels of the vines here, so from Bulbasaur's vine whip attack. Just got them, like just little tassels, just little extra detail with the outfit, as if it was like tassels of drapery or cloth that would normally be on, say, a knight or someone wearing a bunch of robes, but instead it's the vines. And so yeah, just definitely having a lot of fun playing with that, just imagining using different leaves and petals from Bulbasaur to make armor pieces, and stitched from the leather of a Bulbasaur. And that's pretty much the extent of it. So the feet of the Bulbasaur make the pants, and then that's stitched, and then there's some of the bulbs leaves on the sides, and yeah, and that's basically the whole design of the Palico. And then of course got to give him a little cute tail, a little cute cat character. And yeah, and so at this point now I've finally gone into the color, because you'll notice that I really took my time, because once again, to emulate that style of that anime concept style, they use a lot of minimal but very range of thin and thick, heavy dark lines. And so I really wanted to establish the lines first before knuckled down and got into the color, because of course the more you establish the foundation and the drawing of your image, it'll just make everything in the later stages easier to do. And so pretty much you can see that it's much easier now. I'm just filling in the lines, basically just coloring in, and I'm really going to town and experimenting with this, and also with the concept art. It's very simply colored. It's very primarily just mostly two-tone, like there's just a flat color and then there's the shadow, and that's basically it. And so you notice that's what I'm doing here, just following the shadows of the form, or of any part of the armor that would cast a shadow. And so I have a mix. I thought it was really cool to add a lot of variety of color, because Venusaur once again has that. So I have a lot of his Venusaur petals just throughout the image. I've also just put tied up a lot of the vines, because Venusaur has tons of vines when he attacks with his vine whip, and I figured that you would be wearing a lot of that. And instead of being heavily armored, say imagine like a Blastoise would have, you would think you would have chunks of his shell and made it very hard and able to take the brunt of any damage head on. This is more of a stealth armor set, and so it's not necessarily as covered, but very ornate, like used for camouflage and just for color and everything. And yeah, I pretty much just keep coloring. And you notice that I thought a cool little idea was that part of the gun, it is very much like a modern day weapon made of metal, but towards the nozzle of the weapon, it is Venusaur's trunk. And I think that was very fitting to use as a final shooting attack for the solar beam, because that's usually where it comes out from. I think I saw some renditions where it doesn't, but I think it always just makes sense that it shoots out of there. It looks like it's like a nice giant vibrant flower that also doubles up as a giant solar beam cannon. And yeah, and now I'm just coloring in the Palico as well, just doing a similar vibe, just using the Bulbasaur color palette, which is a lot more straightforward than the Venusaur one. And then yeah, I just keep coloring in and finish up and bring it all to a concept look. And so it's not super refined, super detailed or rendered, but it's enough to get the concept across. And I think that was my main goal with this, because I really wanted to go to town on the design for this, because it never really existed before. I feel like it's such a cool concept, imagining you hunting Pokemon, but I really wanted to seize this opportunity to really try to knuckle down and pull off the design. And I definitely had a lot of fun with that. And so I'm just adding a little text here. I just got a font I use online, and I'm just trying to make it like this piece, like it's like bestiary or like a little description, you know, like someone's, you know, traveled in their journal and written some notes about how things work. You know, usually they write like the name of the monster and, you know, where they live and their weaknesses and their behaviors and everything. But since this is strictly about the armor and the weapons, I'm just using that as an opportunity to, you know, describe all that stuff. And so a little later here, yeah, I'm just using a little copy paste just to, you know, tweak, add some little extra elements of more of the leaves and everything. I love the idea of just really pushing that asymmetrical silhouette. You notice how, like, you know, I have the feet armor, leather armor from the Venusaur on one side, and the leaves are kind of, you know, like she's wearing it over her back, but it's only going to the left side, and then, you know, the one that makes basically a dress is going to the right side. And then finally I also added those vine whip tassels onto the armor set for the human as well. And I kind of just went to town again with the vine elements and the leaf elements for both the gun and the character. I like to think that it looks like just a big tangled mess of you know, nature and plant matter to help emphasize that ghillie suit look. And then I just keep coloring and bring it all to a concept finish. All right, what's going on, boys? Here for some Pokemon?
Yeah.
What's going on, mate?
Yeah.
We brutalized them.
Brutalize them. Yeah, it felt like that, didn't it? Just hacking them to pieces.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought we used to just like collecting Pokemon and battling them, not tearing them up and making costumes. But it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I like it's a very different challenge, so I hope I definitely had fun. So I hope you guys like it, and I hope everyone watching likes it too, because it'd be fun to do more of these for sure.
I like how you're wearing the green too.
Oh wait, I'm wearing blue. I didn't even realize.
The Venusaur.
So
Venusaur. All right,
let's
get
sick.
into it.
Let's see it.
Showing what it's on. Here we go.
I'm covering the
3, 2, 1.
Holy shit, bro! I did not expect that.
What? Wait, there's so much to look at. Hold on. Where do you want us to look first?
That's I
don't know. Anyway, I guess we can just look at the armor part first.
Yeah, we'll look at the armor one
Bro,
first.
this is the Guna Deluxe. Beautiful.
Kakuna Deluxe.
Legit.
Yeah, I thought I took it as an opportunity to draw a female character because I never draw them. I thought it'd be a good chance to practice, so I wanted to do that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And yeah.
Dude, that is awesome.
Dude, you made like weapon sets and everything?
Oh, I think look, to be honest, I'm not 100% on the Monster Hunter thing, but there's a weapon, they call it the heavy crossbow, but then it looks like a big giant gun.
Yeah.
And they have different ammunition types, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then that was just the perfect opportunity because I feel like Venusaur is has heaps of different ammunition. He's got like the razor leaf, the seed bomb, vine whips, and solar beam. Like he has so many weapons on him, so I thought that was perfect. And I thought it'd be cool to just give this character a gun that has all those weapons attached.
That is sick.
Is fucking mint. So the little leaves coming down from the gun, that's like little razor leaf bullets, is it?
Yeah, I did. It's sort of like
so
like a machine gun belt or whatever that feeds in. So the idea is you feed in the razor leaves.
And can this gun do a solar beam as well? Because that would be
definitely. Yeah, I think
because it's got that top bit. Yeah, I see it there.
Yeah. His tree part is like kind of where the gun is. And I think one of the heavy crossbows, it does like a charge shot. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, well, that's definitely solar beam.
That's sick.
So that'll be like a big heavy attack. And then I guess it was like a little inspiration of like the whole kind of ghillie suit sort of vibe. Though I didn't, I still wanted to look like parts of Venusaur, which was just those big 100%. Palm leaves and the flower petals and everything.
Yeah, and you got his feet as like bags. Are they bags or just armor?
It's just armor, I guess. It's like asymmetrical, so I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, because I think the armor's usually quite chunky and symmetrical throughout, but I thought it was fun to to do that, so I just left it as it was.
This is completely different than I thought you were gonna go. I really thought it was gonna be like a ghillie suit sort of vibe that you were gonna do, but this is actually better than what I was thinking.
Oh, I'm glad. Thanks, man. I think I just want to leave it like it looks like more Pokemon, I guess. So
It's so cool.
yeah.
And the little
cool,
fucking Bulbasaur Palico.
Yeah, just chuck that little bit at the end there. I know we
Right,
weren't like...
his little pose.
yeah. I know we were iffy about if we could fit it in, but I was enjoying this whole thing and had a little bit of time, so I just quickly whipped them up. It was basically just a Bulbasaur onesie, right?
That is so good.
Yeah.
And he's got the bulb on the back. That's so funny. It's his backpack.
like a little bulb backpack. Bro,
Yeah.
It looks so cool. It's so diabolical when you think about the actual process to dress that little cat. Like, you skinned a full Bulbasaur.
His head is just gone.
Stuck a cat in it.
Yeah.
You kept his teeth, but...
Yeah. Just a little hint. Doesn't have the eyes, though. Hey, does it?
No, I just stole his eyeballs, but dude, that's sick.
If you want to do like a messed up thing, update it so that the eyeballs are like stitched. Oh,
That'd be messed
Oh
up.
man,
I like that.
I think I was starting to add like some eyes or whatever, like if they were closed or something maybe. But then it felt too real, like too. I was getting more towards the whole morbid part.
started getting sad.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to leave it more cute and yeah.
Nah, well done. I love that. And also, low key, I just noticed you got the Venusaur teeth as a necklace and the crown she's wearing as a crown.
Oh, you know,
that's on the
thank
top
you.
of the
Yeah,
flower.
yeah,
That
little
is
tidbits
fucking
here.
Crazy.
I think yeah, I feel like Venusaur has so many like Pokemon are very simple elements and designs, right? But I feel like Venusaur has quite a lot going on.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I wanted to use every part of it, so yeah.
That's
Because
sick.
A lot of people didn't see the full wheel spin, but everyone was a bit iffy about hitting Venusaur. But dude, you fucking smashed it out of the park.
Yeah. I love
thank you.
I love the description here too of like how the gun works. That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Actually, one little thing I thought, I imagined like if you're walking around and like parts of the leaves like sort of shedding off you, and then that's sort of like a scent trail to lure Venusaurs.
Get the fuck. That's sick.
I just did the little flaky bits back there, but I thought of that right at the very
That's
end, and
cool.
I don't know if that can be incorporated in the game, but I thought that was a fun little idea.
And the vine thingies, like, are they like sentient still? Do they still move around or?
Oh, I didn't think they would really. I just thought it would be cool to have like the vines just hanging, sort of like tassels of like
That's badass.
bits of cloth and
Makes
ribbon and stuff.
makes a fucking phenomenal like silhouette. It's fucking real cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
I
That's
love
what I
that.
was going for, yeah.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
It's
And-
definitely one thing I need to do with my ones is think a little bit more about the storytelling instead of like this looks cool. Oh, this looks also cool. So,
Yeah.
Sometimes
Look it
that's
up.
all you need though. Sometimes just looking cool is great, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, for everyone watching, if you want to see other videos of Jackson and Rui's ones, click here, wherever it pops up. Peace.
Peace.